My wife cheated on me with my brother because she has daddy issues, and my entire family sided with him, so I divorced her and moved on. Now that she is financially struggling, she is begging me to come back and fund her lifestyle. I'm 29, and 2 months ago I finalized my divorce after catching my wife cheating with my brother. We'd been married for 2 years, and I genuinely thought we were happy, but I should have known better than to reconnect with my family. Growing up, I was always the outsider. My brother was the golden child who could do no wrong. When I got into medical school, my parents threw him a party instead because they didn't want him to feel left out. That was the day I knew I'd never matter to them. I left home at 18 and never looked back. I paid my own way through college with loans and 2 jobs, rented a tiny apartment with a friend, built my entire life from scratch while my parents never once reached out. I was fine with that. I'd moved on. Then last year, my brother contacted me online, said our parents missed me and wanted to reconnect. I was skeptical, but I'd just gotten married and was in a good place mentally. I thought maybe enough time had passed. Maybe they'd changed. That was my first mistake. I invited them to my home. My brother met my wife. Within weeks, I noticed things shifting. He started visiting more often, always with some excuse. Then, 4 months ago, my wife told me she was pregnant. I was ecstatic. We'd been trying for a while. But then my brother's visits became even more frequent. He'd touch her stomach, lean in and talk to the baby. My wife said I was being paranoid, that he was just excited to be an uncle. But something in my gut wouldn't let it go. One night, while she was asleep, I went through her phone. I wish I hadn't. The text went back 6 months. Detailed conversations about their affair, plans about the baby. But the worst part? They'd already decided how it would play out. They were going to wait until after the birth. Then she'd divorce me, claim I was controlling and abusive, and take me for everything. My brother would swoop in as the hero, and they'd raise his kid on my dime while I paid child support for a baby that wasn't even mine. I confronted her the next morning. She tried to deny it at first, but I had screenshots of everything. She finally broke down and admitted it all. The affair, the pregnancy, the plan. That was the end of my 2-year marriage. And my family? They took her side completely. When she announced the divorce on social media and her relationship with my brother, my parents posted congratulations. They told me I should be happy they'd found each other and stop being so selfish. They said this was for the best. The divorce got ugly fast. My ex and her lawyer painted me as a monster, said I'd forced her to quit her job, isolated her from friends, controlled everything. My parents backed up every lie in court. They told the judge they'd cut contact with me years ago because of my misogynistic attitude and violent temper. I lost my car, lost a huge settlement, but I kept a house, and I walked away with my dignity. I threw myself into work, pushed myself harder than ever, and 2 weeks ago, it paid off. I got promoted, significant raise, better position, company car. I was finally moving forward. I celebrated with dinner at my favorite restaurant and posted about it online. That was my second mistake. Within 24 hours, my mother started calling. I ignored her. She called more. Then she showed up at my office and refused to leave. She got into a screaming match with our receptionist. It was humiliating. I finally promised a visit just to get her to leave. A few days later, I drove to their new house. They'd used the settlement money to upgrade, probably to make room for the baby who'd been born 3 weeks earlier. My brother wasn't home. My ex was asleep with the baby, just my parents. We sat in awkward silence for 5 minutes. Then my dad blurted it out. My brother had been fired. The settlement money was gone. The alimony wasn't enough for a family of 5 with a newborn. They'd seen my promotion post and thought maybe I could help out financially. I just stared at them. The audacity was stunning. After a long silence, I stood up and walked toward the door without saying a word. My parents called after me, begging me to stay and talk. I opened the door. My brother was standing there, soaked from the rain. He looked shocked to see me. Behind me, my parents were still pleading. I stepped outside into the downpour. It was a short walk to my car, but I was drenched instantly. I was already in the worst mood possible. That's when all 3 of them followed me out. My brother, my parents, all standing in the rain as I fumbled for my keys. And my brother, the same arrogant golden child who'd spent his entire life looking down on me, actually started begging. He said they really needed help, that family should stick together, that I should let the past go. Something in me snapped. I looked at all 3 of them, standing there soaking wet and desperate, and I said, "You want money? Beg on the streets. A complete stranger who knows nothing about you would be more likely to help than I would." Then I got in my car and drove away, leaving them standing in the rain. It's been 2 days. My mom won't stop texting, but honestly, I've never felt better.